Nigeria at the Estadio Dr. Magalhães Pessoa in Leiria, Portugal. Not travelled out to the US just yet for the World Cup, as their campaign in Group K begins in a little over a week's time, as they play DR Congo in their opening group game. They will also play Uzbekistan and Colombia. Nigeria not going to the World Cup this summer, very much just using this international break after the end of all the domestic seasons all across the globe in football to just get their chance to get some fresh legs out and get some minutes into the players before they can go on and start their pre-seasons with their domestic clubs and before they begin their seasons in a couple of months' time. But let's just bring you both sets of starting 11s for Portugal. Head coach Roberto Martinez names what looks to be his strongest 11, and the 11 you would very much expect him to use in the World Cup. Diogo Costa starts in goal. Nelson Semedo and Diogo Dalot are the two fullbacks, with Ruben Dias and Gonçalo Inácio at centre-half. It looks to be a 4-2-3-1 formation with João Neves and Vitinha, the two Champions League winning midfielders with PSG just a couple of weeks ago, playing as the double pivot behind the more attacking midfield trio with Pedro Neto and Francesco Trincao either side of Bruno Fernandes, and of course leading the line, the captain Cristiano Ronaldo. 41 years of age now. Ronaldo has won several Ballon d'Ors. He's won the Euros with Portugal. He's not won the World Cup with them though, and you would think maybe going into this tournament with an incredible side around him, it could just be his last chance and maybe his best chance of lifting the coveted trophy his age-old rival Lionel Messi lifted 4 years ago. But as for the substitutes for Portugal, they've got the three backup goalkeepers, Rui Silva, Jose Sá and Ricardo Velo. As for the outfielders, there's Nuno Mendes, Renato Veiga, Thomas Araujo, João Cancelo, Samu Costa, Bernardo Silva, Mateus Nunes, Ruben Neves, Francisco Conceição, João Felix, Gonçalo Guedes and Gonçalo Ramos. So the only man not in the matchday squad who is in the World Cup squad for Portugal is AC Milan's Rafael Leao. As for Nigeria, their manager Eric Schell has gone with the following. He's got Maduka Okoye in goal. Looks to be a back four with Christian Akpan and Bruno Onyemaechi as the two fullbacks, with Semi Ajayi and Calvin Bassey at centre-half. The midfield three looks to have the captain Wilfred Ndidi just screening the back four. Alex Iwobi and Fisayo Deli Bashiru are either side of him, as Alex Iwobi just getting a nice little framed shirt from a few of the Nigerian FA representatives. It's got the number 100 on the back, as tonight is Alex Iwobi's 100th cap for the Nigerian national team. As for the front three, there's Moses Simon and Tochukwu Nadi either side of Akor Adams. As for the substitutes for Nigeria, there's the two backup goalkeepers, Francis Uzoho and Arthur Okonkwo, who had a fantastic season with Wrexham in the English Championship. They've also got, in terms of outfielders, Abdullahi Buene, Zaidu Sanusi, Emmanuel Fernandez, Frank Onyeka, Rafael Onyedika, Terem Mofi, Paul Onuachu and Philip Otele complete the 10 names on the Nigeria bench, as the Nigerian players currently singing their national anthem, wearing their mainly white kit with green flames either side going along the sleeves. The goalkeeper Okoye wearing a purple and blue equivalent of that. But will Nigeria be adding any sparks and adding fuel to the fire in this game, just to try and cause an upset to Portugal in this international friendly? We've already seen some quite intriguing scorelines in the last few international friendlies, mainly France losing to the Ivory Coast by 2-1. Uzbekistan giving Netherlands a really good run for their money. It was a last-minute winner from Cody Gakpo from the penalty spot, which saw the Netherlands win that game. Also Haiti beating New Zealand by 4-0. There's been some really intriguing results in these pre-World Cup friendlies. Also with Egypt giving Brazil quite a good game. That ended 2-1 to Brazil in that game. But what's going to happen tonight here in Portugal before the Seleção make their way to America for the World Cup, beginning it against the DR, the Democratic Republic of Congo, in a week's time, as all the Portuguese players and the fans all around, even the manager Roberto Martinez, being a Spanish national man, he's singing the Portuguese national anthem, and just loud and proud, as all of his players are as well. The captain Cristiano Ronaldo, unlike everyone else who's arm in arm just looking forward, he's more just stood facing his right hand side, just looking up far into the distance, as we now just see both sets of teams just go through their handshakes as kick-off fast approaching in Portugal, in Leiria. And before Portugal go off to the World Cup, Nigeria have no World Cup to go to, which is quite surprising given how many tournaments they've qualified for over the last 2 or 3 decades or so, but no sign of them in this year's World Cup. But they can still get players out, they can get them fit before they go off to start their pre-season campaigns in a couple of weeks or so, albeit we're only in June at the moment, but give it 2 months and the football seasons will all be started again and everyone will be back to normal procedures, going off to their respective clubs and getting ready for the next season. But you want to talk about, in terms of just firepower of players for either side, you just have to look at Portugal's starting 11 tonight. So much quality in there. Diogo Dalot for a start, we've played so many games for Manchester United at fullback. Ruben Diaz has been a stalwart in the Manchester City defence for almost a decade now. João Neves and Vitinha, as mentioned earlier, both part of the PSG side that won the Champions League recently. They're the main 2 men in midfield, and even the likes of Bruno Fernandes and Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo needs no introduction whatsoever. Arguably the greatest goal-scoring player of not just this generation, but football as a whole. Even last season with Al Nassr, 28 goals in 30 games in the Saudi Pro League at 41 years of age. He just doesn't seem to stop going, does Cristiano Ronaldo. There's himself and the Nigeria captain Wilfred Ndidi exchanging handshakes. Ndidi, he didn't have the best season of his career at all in terms of recent seasons, was relegated with Leicester City in the Premier League in 24-25 and then made his way to Besiktas to go and play in the Turkish Super League. But even though they're quite a big team in Turkey, Besiktas, usually right up there challenging for titles, they ended up finishing in 4th place. They were actually closer to 6th place Göztepe than they were to 3rd place Trabzonspor, so a poor season for them in terms of standard. But you want to go and talk about players who have had great seasons. Bruno Fernandes, again a player much like the rest of his Portuguese teammates, they need no introduction. Fernandes, who broke the Premier League record for most assists in a season in 25-26, he notched up 21 assists and scored 9 goals in the Premier League, and just even still for his standards an absolutely phenomenal showing. But this season, having just gone, it's the first time in a season he's not scored double-digit goals since the 2016-17 season when he was playing in Serie A for Sampdoria. But looks like the referee Mateo Busquets, the Spanish referee, has got us ready to go. Looks like we are going to be seeing kick-off just now happen, albeit it's almost 5 minutes late here in Portugal for this international friendly, but both teams have set themselves up. We're ready to go in this pre-World Cup friendly, Portugal's final game before they go off to North America to begin their tournament in Group K against DR Congo in a week's time. Nigeria, they've not got the World Cup to look forward to, but their players have got a little bit of a rest, you could argue, to look forward to. So it will be Portugal in their red and green kits. They're kicking from right to left. They get us underway as Bruno Fernandes and Cristiano Ronaldo exchange passes, and the Seleção, as they're nicknamed in their own country, looking to try and just maintain possession at the moment, I should say, just by the edge of their penalty area to the right of their own goal, as Vitinha has dropped deep, plays it back to the goalkeeper Costa, able to get the ball forward down the right hand side as Ronaldo tries to apply a little bit of early pressure on the Nigeria centre back Semi Ajayi, but he's able to keep it there, Ajayi, and get it away. Has just seen himself promoted to the Premier League with Hull City after joining them on a 2-year deal at the start of last season. As here come Portugal, looking to maybe try and open the scoring early. Long ball forward down the right-hand side, but the Nigeria goalkeeper Maduka Okoye is there, and he just clears it away out for a throw-in. That one not really troubling the Nigerian defence all too much, as the throw-in taken by Portugal. They lose possession. Nigeria now have it with Deli Bashiru, who's been dispossessed. Both sets of teams are both pleading their cases for the throw-in to be given in their side's favour. It goes to Nigeria and Iwobi. A neat little give and go, but a bit of a heavy touch there in midfield, and Portugal are able to take the ball back. Ronaldo has a go from a long way out and fairly to the right of centre of goal, but he's always going to try an effort like that, is Cristiano Ronaldo. Whenever he's got the opportunity, always just looks up, tries to get his name in the starlight, as it has been for so many years of his truly fantastic career. One of the most decorated footballers of all time, and you could definitely make the argument that he's the best footballer of all time, but when you compare the fact that a certain other footballer has won the World Cup and Cristiano Ronaldo hasn't, and then maybe you could say that the argument just swings in a certain Argentinian player's favour. As in the meantime, Nigeria have it inside their own penalty area with the goalkeeper Okoye. He's booted it long, looking to try and find Adams, but the striker loses possession, and Portugal have it back now, about halfway between their own penalty area and the halfway line. It goes all the way back from João Neves to the goalkeeper Costa, as he was put under pressure there by Adams, but was able to turn away and get the ball out to Nelson Semedo here, who's put the afterburners on. Great burst of pace from Semedo down the right-hand byline. He's up into the Nigeria half, but he's forced to just track back a couple of yards, ends up seeing himself sandwiched between two green and white shirts, and he's won a free kick for his side there, Semedo, but made a real gut-busting run forward down that right-hand side, just knocked it beyond two Nigeria players, and then he just ran himself into a little bit of a corridor of uncertainty, had to turn himself around, face his own goal, got brought down, but was a well-won free kick there. Portugal have taken it. They've now got it with Vitinha, level with the left corner of his own penalty area. He's put under pressure, so he has to go back to the goalkeeper Costa. Bright yellow kit, Diogo Costa. Very much, if you can imagine, the classic neon yellow highlighter, which I'm sure almost everyone in the world has used. If you can just imagine the colour of that, or you've got one near you, just have a little look at it. That's exactly the colour of shirt Diogo Costa has got on tonight. If the floodlights went out, I still think you'd be able to see him. Here's the ball on the halfway line for Portugal with Bruno Fernandes, who's been dispossessed, but he's actually given away a free kick on the halfway line, the Manchester United midfielder, and that's because he went to control the ball, it just missed his foot and it bounced up and hit the underside of his arm, so referee gives a handball. Nigeria get the free kick sprayed out to the left hand side, and they've looked to try and play it forward in search of Nyadi, but he's been well defended by Inacio, who's happy to play the ball back to Costa. And once again, Portugal, much like they have done in the early stages of this game, just having to play the ball amongst their own defensive third inside their own penalty area, just look for that opening of space to play into. They've got a bit of space here with Semedo on the right wing, but again they're forced back, and it's again with the goalkeeper Costa by the edge of his own 6-yard box, just walking forward with the ball, plays it up to the he's put the burners on, and he plays the through ball up into the halfway line, and it's played through by Fernandes looking for Ronaldo in an offside position there, so linesman has the easy choice of just putting his offside flag straight up. Ronaldo, he just didn't time his run right. He ran far too early and just knew that the pass was going to come from Bruno Fernandes, but as soon as he made it, you could see he'd just gone that second too early, and the Nigerian defence just played the offside trap really well, and Mateo Busquets, the referee, just waiting for Nigeria to play this free kick to get play restarted. They have done, and it is now with Christian Akpan, their right back, and goes back to Ajayi, who's looked to try and play it long here. He's found Adams, bit of a heavy touch, but it caused a bit of an awkward bit of defensive play there for Gonçalo Inacio, who all he could do while facing his own goal was just take a swing at the ball, and he's just booted it out of play. So decent pressure from Nigeria when they haven't got the ball, and even when they do have it, they're looking to just try and set away Adams with the long ball over the top. Inacio's clearance behind has actually gone out of play for a corner. It's the first one of the game, and it does come Nigeria's way. Can they maybe perhaps find the opening goal here in Portugal? We've only played a little over 6 minutes. The corner will be taken by Deli Bashiru from this right-hand side. He's got the short option of Moses Simon to go to, and he does use him, and it's played back to Deli Bashiru. Left-footed pass into the D. Calvin Bassey's going to have a go, and it's not a bad effort, and was a little bit tame though, and Costa able just to get himself down low into the turf and make a calm save. And now Nelson Semedo, again, gut-busting run from him down the right-hand side, trying to take up a couple of yards, but Portugal again, they're just forced backwards because Nigeria, they've got plenty of men behind the ball and just waiting for that attempted through pass where they can intercept the ball and try and get themselves forward. But Portugal again trying to use width to their advantage. Played up to the right hand side. Cross takes a deflection. It's not fully cleared. Bruno Fernandes looking to get it back out to that right hand side. Still not fully cleared by Nigeria. Ball inside their own penalty area, but really well dealt with in the end by their left back Bruno Onyemaechi, and he's just happy to clear the ball away, get it as far away from his own goal as possible. Portugal now have it inside their own penalty area, and with Diogo Costa inside his own penalty area, and he's happy just to play the ball short. Vitinha trying to get it out to the right hand side for Pedro Neto, but it's too heavy of a touch, and the pass goes all the way back to the goalkeeper Okoye. Now with Bassey, and Okoye again, the goalkeeper for Nigeria in that blue and purple kit, happy just to roll the ball short for Ajayi. And now Nigeria, they're looking to just try and do what Portugal have done to them over the last few minutes or so, just trying to frustrate them and just keeping the ball deep in their own half, looking for those openings of space. And they've got one here down the left-hand side. It's with Moses Simon, who's up against Diaz. He's into the penalty area, tries to lay it off to Iwobi by the D, but it's intercepted. And Portugal can try and play out from the back. Lovely outside of the boot pass from Neto, and he's found Semedo on the right wing. Really good through ball. Ronaldo in the box, one-on-one. Oh, he's put it wide. And you do not expect that at all from the Portugal captain. And Ronaldo, he knows he should be scoring there, because as the ball hits the advertising board to the left of the goal and goes back to him, he just smashes it away again, and he shakes his head in pure disbelief. I think everyone in this stadium can't believe that Cristiano Ronaldo hasn't put Portugal 1-0 up there. But that's the danger of Portugal when they get on the counter-attack. Just came from defending a Nigeria attack. Semedo just made that brilliant run down the right-hand side. It was an inch perfect through pass that curved round the defender to find Ronaldo one-on-one inside the penalty area, but puts it wide of the left-hand post. And you'd expect a player of his calibre to score. As here comes Adams for Nigeria. He's in the box. Left-footed shot. Oh, he's put one wide. And now you could argue both sides should be a goal up. Just action at both ends there in quick succession after Ronaldo puts one wide off the goal kick. Nigeria playing it forward. Got it up to Adams. Really good run up into the penalty area. Just got the ball onto his right foot. And it just ever so slightly goes wide of Costa's left-hand post. Nigeria there almost punishing Portugal right up the other end for the Ronaldo miss, as here he is, lays it off to Bruno Fernandes. Back now with Ronaldo. He's in the centre circle to the right of the halfway line. Portugal now get it back out to the right-hand side. Semedo finding Bruno Fernandes on halfway, but he's been collided with and he's gone down there, just holding his right foot. A bit of a wince on his face, but he's back up to his feet now and looks completely fine. Bruno Fernandes, as Portugal take the free kick quickly. It's been played out to Ruben Diaz on the left-hand side. Now with Neto. And Portugal again, just looking for those openings here by keeping the ball deep in their own half, trying to force out a Nigeria player, and they've done exactly that, and the ball's gone long up to Dallo, who gets it up into the penalty area. It's been headed back, though, by the fullback Onyemaechi, and he's happy just to head it into the gloves of his goalkeeper, Maduka Okoye, and Nigeria can reset, look to play out from the back and try and carve out another opportunity like they saw from Akor Adams just a couple of minutes ago, but they're happy to keep it inside their own penalty area with the Hull City defender Semi Ajayi. Plays it forward to Iwobi, making his 100th cap for Nigeria. It's gone back from Onyemaechi, and Nigeria again not looking all too intent on maybe trying to play the ball forward here, as it's back with Ajayi. He's played it short for Nnadi, who's playing this game as a right winger for Nigeria, but he's so far deep in his own half, you'd think that he's the right back tonight. Has Okoye put under a little bit of pressure, but Nigeria have cleared it. Now with Calvin Bassey, played forward to Iwobi on the halfway line. Now with Moses Simon on the left-hand side. He's by the byline, looking to try and break forward up into the Portugal penalty area. Goes back to Iwobi. Now with Ndidi, who lines up a shot from long range, and the less said about that, the better, really, for the Nigeria captain Ndidi. He got his head up, and it was you could argue the right idea, but he was at least 35 yards out from goal, and he just looked up and went to smash it from long distance on his right foot, sailed well over the crossbar of Diogo Costa's goal. And Portugal play the goal kick to get play restarted. Heavy touch there from Dallo, gives away possession, and Nigeria get themselves a throw-in. Nnadi playing it quickly, now with Ndidi. He's gone back to Iwobi, looking to try and break forward. Iwobi's through pass intercepted by Vitinha, and Portugal can try and break here on the counter-attack. Bruno Fernandes just has put a little bit too much in that over-the-top pass, was looking for his Manchester United teammate Diogo Dallo, but Dallo simply, he would have had to have had almost superhuman pace to get on the end of that attempted over-the-top ball, and was just a little bit too heavy there from Bruno Fernandes. You don't always expect that from a player of his calibre. Of course, 21 assists in the Premier League last season. That is a league record for the most of any player in a single season. But that pass there was never really going to cause all too much issues, as Vitinha gets himself in a little bit of a scuffle with Tochukwu Nnadi, and he's won Portugal a free kick. Brought the ball down really well on his chest, and as he looked to try and flick it over the head of Nnadi, the Nigeria winger just got a bit too physical for the referee's liking. He ended up just bringing him down into the surface, and the free kick was quickly awarded. And Portugal have again played it backwards, but here's Nelson Semedo, but sloppy pass from him gives away possession. Nigeria looking to break on the counter-attack, but Adams is forced to play the ball backwards for Akpan. It's now back on the halfway line with Semi Ajayi for Nigeria. He finds Akpan, back it goes to Ajayi, and looked as if there was a little bit of a push from Diogo Dallo, but the referee waves it away and doesn't opt to give the free kick. Has lovely little first-time layoff from Ronaldo to Bruno Fernandes, and Calvin Bassey there was right on the back of Bruno Fernandes, just wrapped both arms around him and just took him down to the turf. The referee's not going to give Calvin Bassey a booking there, but he knew exactly what he wanted to do there. But even as Calvin Bassey just brought him down to the ground, big smile on the face of him, and Bruno Fernandes just gives him a little pat on the back, and Bruno Fernandes is back up to his feet, and play has continued. Portugal in possession with Champions League winner Vitinha on halfway. Plays it out to Dallo on the left-hand side, who's given it away on halfway. Bruno Fernandes didn't read that pass at all, and Adams has broken away, and he's rode a couple of challenges. Plays it out wide to Simon on the left wing. Iwobi now playing it centrally for Ndidi. Now with Akpan, but Nigeria forced to just get the ball back out to the left-hand side. Iwobi's there again. It's gone infield for Nnadi, but Nigeria, once again, no real interest from them in playing the ball forward with any real pace, as it's now in the possession of Semi Ajayi, looking to try and carry the ball over the halfway line. He's been brought down by João Neves and a couple of Portugal players, and even their manager Roberto Martinez just questioning the decision of the referee Mateo Busquets there, because it looked like as João Neves was going down, he slid in for a challenge. He did get all of the ball rather than any of Semi Ajayi, but the defender went down. Referee thought it was a free kick, and here is Iwobi trying to split the Portuguese defence with a through ball, but it's been intercepted, and Portugal now have it back with Nelson Semedo. He's had to turn and face his own goal and play it back for Gonçalo Inácio. Now with Diogo Dalot, who's carried the ball over the halfway line, the Portuguese left back. Forward he goes, and he's got support up there with him with Pedro Neto. Back to Dalot, edge of the box, plays the reverse pass to Fernandes. Good back heel, looking for Ronaldo on the edge of the 6-yard box, but it's been cleared away by the Nigeria defence, and now they can try and break forward, and it's 3-on-2 here. They've got a man over if they can play their cards right. Forward they come. It's played out to the right hand side, and it's Deli Bashiru, cuts into the penalty area, plays it to his left. Will a shot come in here from Moses Simon? He's twisting and turning, doesn't look like he knew what to do with it at all. He's tried to play the ball back and he's given away possession, and now Portugal can try and go up the other end here with Francisco Trincao, but there's no real options ahead of him, so he has to play the ball back into his own defensive third. But what on earth was Moses Simon thinking there? Nigeria, they had a 3-on-2 counter-attack in their favour, and they completely made a hash of it. Just really poor decision-making from them. At first it was Fisayo Deli Bashiru who broke forward. He got into the penalty area, and rather than try a shot himself after he cut the ball onto his left foot, he was stood dead centre of the 18-yard box, just played it out to his left for Moses Simon, who just stood completely still. He almost just completely froze up when he got the ball, and rather than look for a shot or a return pass, all he did was just stand with the defender in front of him. He just looked like a deer in headlights there, just had no idea what to do, tried to play the ball backwards, and he gave away possession. And you cannot afford to waste a chance like that as Portugal look to break forward down their right-hand side. And João Neves is wiped out there by the Nigeria defender Bruno Onyemaechi, who's the first name that goes into the book of the referee Mateo Busquets. So Onyemaechi there is shown a yellow card just for halting the run forward of João Neves. Knew exactly what he was doing, just very much a cynical foul there from the Nigerian defender, who don't think he's really going to have all too many complaints that he's gone into the referee's book there. Portugal have played the free kick, and they've got a bit of an opening here on the left-hand side. As forward they come with Pedro Neto up to the edge of the penalty area to the left of goal. He's now entered the box, but he's lost the ball. And Nigeria now, they can try and break forward, but Neto just leans in to the Nigeria captain Wilfred Ndidi. Referee gives a free kick, and Neto there, you could argue that's a very similar challenge to the one Bruno Onyemaechi has just made and has been shown a yellow card for, the Nigeria defender. But Neto hasn't gone into the referee's book there. Could argue he's a little bit of a lucky boy that he's not been given a booking there, as Nigeria play the free kick quickly, but they've given away possession. Portugal now have it inside their own penalty area. It's by the right corner of their box as Diaz plays it out to Semedo. Back it goes to Diaz, now with João Neves in midfield. He's played it forward to Ronaldo on the halfway line, who's dropped a little bit deeper from his centre forward position, and just to try and help out his teammates, just carve out that opening. As Portugal looking to try and get forward with Dalot, but he's had to play it back to João Neves. It's deep inside the Portugal half with Ruben Diaz. He goes long. Pass ends up being intercepted. And Portugal have a throw-in right in front of their manager Roberto Martinez. So 20 minutes gone now. It's still 0-0 between Portugal and Nigeria. But best chance of the game coming for Cristiano Ronaldo off a quick Portuguese counter-attack. And Nelson Semedo, who's looked a real live wire tonight, inch perfect through ball to him, but Ronaldo one-on-one with the goalkeeper, put it wide as Ronaldo's just found Semedo on the right-hand side. He's up by the edge of the penalty area, the Portugal right-back. Cuts inside, back to Ronaldo, who's scuffed his attempted cross just high up in the air. He's got a smile on his face, Ronaldo, because, again, he knows for a man of his standards and how high he holds himself to being such a talented player and one of the best of all time in football. Just he knows he should be doing a bit better there, but it was well claimed by the Nigerian goalkeeper Maduka Okoye. Nigeria are happy to keep the ball in their own defensive third as Bassi tries a long through ball. He couldn't reach Adams, who had Gonçalo Inacio right in front of him, and Inacio just bought the free kick really well there, just waited for the contact, waited to be pushed over, and as soon as it came, went down. Referee Mateo Busquets was quick to give that free kick. And it is now with Portugal's goalkeeper Diogo Costa in that bright neon yellow goalkeeper kit, happy to play it out to the right hand side. Now with Semedo by the right hand byline, his pass in field intercepted, but he has won it back, and now he's opted to get the ball out to the left hand side. It's with Vitinha for Portugal, now with Neto on the halfway line. Bruno Fernandes coming to the left hand side from the centre of midfield, but again Portugal are forced backwards and they just can't seem to break through the Nigerian midfield and defensive line at the moment, and their goalkeeper Costa gets the ball out to the right hand side for Trincao, who's ventured himself in field. He's now in the halfway line. Trincao, he's found Ronaldo, back it goes to Trincao, tries a lovely lofted over the top ball. It has found Dalot, left hand side in the box. Can he find a pass? He can. It's gone back to Bruno Fernandes. Oh, and it's in the bottom right corner. It was Pedro Neto rather who he found with the cutback, and the Chelsea winger drills it low into the bottom right hand corner. Portugal do have the lead a little over the halfway mark in the first half, and Pedro Neto just drills it low into the back of Maduka Okoye's net. Portugal finally making a counter-attack count. They're finally able to break through that deep defensive back line of Nigeria. Lovely over the top ball from Trincao to find Diogo Dalot. Just cut it back to Neto, who level with the left corner of the penalty area and just hit the shot low and hard on his left foot into the bottom right corner. The goalkeeper stood no chance. Perfect placement from Pedro Neto, and Portugal in their final friendly before the World Cup lead Nigeria by a 1-0. A lovely low finish from the Chelsea winger, who has just scored for Portugal, and that now makes it his third goal for his country in his 25th appearance. And we aren't going to have kick-off straight from that goal. We're actually going to have a hydration break